Hi Steepers, I'm Anna Helman. I'm glad you're here today. Have you ever created a pop-up card with fun little pop-ups on the inside when the recipient opens your card? If not, today I want to share with you how to make really simple ones. These are so easy to create. Even if you have created them, I hope you will watch along and see the fun card we are going to create. Let's take a look at it. Here's the card I've been working on, and this is the one we are going to finish together. I created this with a fun new stamp set called Rhino Ready and some fun tropical leaves also from another bundle. I'll show those to you here in a second. It opens this way, and here is the inside of the card. So what we're going to do is create some fun little pop-ups to put right here. And these rhinos are going to be on those pop-ups because I love the card the way it is, but this is going to make it just amazing for whoever I decide to give this to. So here are the bundles that I used really quickly. I'll share them with you. This is Rhino Ready. Here is the tropical leaf bundle. I love a good stamp and punch combo because they're so easy to use. And all of these, a lot of the products I've used, including this embossing folder, they're all part of some new online exclusives that are only online. They're not in our catalogs. You can find links below to all the products that I have used if you're interested in ordering. And let's talk about how to make these cute pop-ups. So what we're going to need are some scraps, okay? You can use up some of your paper scraps in your collection. And I'm going to give you two different examples of what size to make these. I want to give you an idea of how to determine your sizing so that if you're making the card with something besides these rhinos, you can still figure out how big they need to be. So I'll give you an idea of, let's see if I can show you how this is going to work to give you an idea of how to come up with your size. So when this card opens, it is going to look something like that. It's going to fold closed like that, if you're able to see that. But you want to figure out about how tall you want your little pop-up to be. As far as width, it depends on what you're creating, but usually I do like 3/4 of an inch, which is what these are, or maybe even 1 inch if it's a bigger pop-up. But these measure, this one I'll give you an idea, measures 1/2 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches. And I scored it at 1/2 an inch, 1.5, and 2.5. This one is 3/4 of an inch by 4.5. I scored at 3/4 of an inch, 2 1/4, and 3 3/4. Now, how did I decide how big to make those and where to score? For this little rhino, I thought 1 inch tall would be good to go behind him. And so for a 1 inch tall one, I need 2 sections that are 1 inches plus a flap on each end to attach to my card. For this one, I thought 1.5 inches would be good. So let's fold this so we can see what that will look like behind this rhino. So we'll put that right here. And so I have 2 sections for this one that are 1.5 inches each, plus a flap on each end to attach to my card. So you can play around with that and making these for other projects and share with you how to attach these. So I want to attach this one on the left side of the inside of my card. I want to make sure that the grass and everything will stay inside. It's not going to be sticking out. And then I'm going to attach this one over on this side to kind of pop up in front of him, which will be kind of fun. So to do this, here's my strip. I have folded on those 3 score lines. I want to get some nice strong adhesive. My Seal Plus is my strong adhesive of choice, unless I need something super strong, but I like to use this because I can use my dispenser and it's really quick and easy. So I have tape on the top of both of these flaps. What I want to do is fold them both backwards. And I'm going to line up my center score line with the fold of my card. Once I have those lined up, I'll go ahead and press down, and this pop-up is in place. Okay, that one is all ready. Now let's create the second one. We'll get the second one ready. We're going to do exactly the same thing. So you can always pause and rewatch, but I'll show you a second time here for the second one. Put adhesive on both end flaps. Fold those backwards. I want to line up the center score line with the fold of my card. And press those down. So now this one will open up too, okay? So I'm ready. I can go ahead and attach this one on. I left this one uncolored because I do get questions about how I use my blends alcohol markers. I thought it would be fun just to color it along with you here. I will attach the first rhino on. So I put some strong adhesive just on the lower half of this part that I can see here. And I want to line up the rhino. I want to make sure the bottom of this piece is not any lower than the bottom of my strip. If it is, it's not going to open properly. Okay, so here you can see as we open it, the rhino pops up and is super cute. Now let's color this other rhino so that we can finish this card. And if you have not tried using our blends alcohol markers, I really encourage you to try them. I am not big on coloring. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I love the way these look so much that I've kind of overcome my aversion to coloring just because I love the way they look so much. So if you have any of these, I know sometimes I get all kinds of comments. You may have them and you use them a lot. You may have them and you've never tried them. You may have thought about trying them and you just haven't yet. But a good place to start is just to get them out in color. Just get out in color. Don't worry about any blending. Just get them out in color. And even without doing any blending, they have such a beautiful look because of the rich, bright, bold colors. So what I like to do when I am blending, this is where I get questions sometimes, and what I like to do, I'm going to work in the two sections. I'll do the head first and then I'll do the body. And I like to color the whole area with my lighter color first. So I've already done that. And the next thing I like to do is go and add in my darker color. So for right here, I'm only doing two colors. I have light smoky slate and dark smoky slate. So I'm done with my dark smoky slate now. You can see where I added that down under the horn and the bottom of the head. Now I'm going back with my lighter one, and I basically, to keep it simple, I basically just color over the whole area again, cover the entire area with color. And what I find is I don't always want to come up and, you know, like I'm not blending up here, but what I find is if I don't come back and cover the whole area, that I'll get lines where the ink may have dried in one spot and then it left a line. Okay, so this is still drying. The look of that will change a little bit as we wait here a few minutes, but let's go ahead and do the body. And again, I'm going to color the whole thing with my light smoky slate marker. And I'm going to color around the toenails. Okay, Farmer Matt might kill me when I say this, but I think he is only, how is it possible my husband has made, oh, you know what? He has made more cards now because he made a few here recently for me and for birthdays and Valentine's Day. But now I'm getting distracted. See, this is why I don't tell stories, because I start telling stories and then I don't know what I'm talking about. Where was I stamping, friends? Okay, you can watch while I'm finishing this here. On this one, I'm going to use light basic black. So this is going to be darker. And do just a little bit. I want to do a little bit right here under the head. And a little bit down here by the legs. Okay, so back to Farmer Matt's story because it's funny. The first card he ever made, and I think the only card he made for several years. Now I'm going to add a little bit of the dark smoky slate beside that where this will blend. Then I'll go back over with my light. The card he made, it had a rhino on it. It wasn't this set, it was a different set. And what did he do? He's more creative than I am, friends. I need to get him on here stamping sometime. Don't tell him I'm talking about him. He'll be mad at me. Just kidding. But he he colored in its toenails. I was like, it was the cutest thing. I was like, okay, you have some serious creativity. I need to get you crafting more often with me, but it just doesn't happen. He's out driving tractors and trucks and, you know, doing the farmer thing. So, all right, it only took me 10 minutes to tell you that story, but as we're finishing, I am finishing coloring in this area my last time with my light smoky slate marker. Now, certain colors like this light basic black, it's pretty dark. It takes a little bit extra work to get it to blend. So after I have done that, I usually just go over it once or twice more with my light marker. And as it sits, this looks a little bit not blended because part of it's more wet than the rest, but that is all going to blend nicely. So that gives you an idea of how I do my shading, my blending with my blends markers. And let's add this adorable thing, this adorable little guy, onto our second pop-up. And again, I want to make sure this does not go below the bottom of the strip so that it can fold up correctly. So here we go. Here's the top view. Now we'll give you the front view. I don't know how to give you the correct view. Okay, so as the card opens, here we go. Here are those cute little rhinos. So you can create cards like this with any punch, any die cut, any small piece you want to. So I hope my explanation for coming up with your measurements gives you an idea. You can always start with the dimensions I gave you and see how those work for the pieces that you want to put inside. Now, these, just while we're here, I have a couple of more cute projects that I have made with these same bundles, the Rhino Ready and the Tropical Leaf bundles. Thought I would share them quickly. I made these recently during my monthly Zoom get-together with my Stampin' Up! Team members. And I thought this was a fun way to highlight some of these new products. I just love, I love both of these. But again, Punch and Stampin' Punch bundles, they really get me in the heart. And I love this. So quick and easy to make. And this is a little gift card holder. So thought I would share those with you. Oh, I have one more. This one uses the same embossing folder from the Basics embossing folder set that I used on this one. Very simple, easy to create with just a few paper strips in the background. So if you would love to stamp with us monthly, we do a Zoom craft night once a month on Zoom. That's why I call it Zoom. But I would love to have you join in if you're interested in joining our team at any point. So thanks so much for watching along. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you'll be back again next time when I'll be here helping you to hand make with love.